If you ever had a thought recently that you're looking to switch between Instagram and TikTok, which I'm guessing is mainly because you want to switch from Instagram to TikTok and not the other way around, purely because Instagram recently has some issues with regards to getting reach for some accounts on this platform. And also, you probably have heard that some other individual or account have potentially had a viral video on TikTok or potentially reached a large amount of audiences very quickly on this platform. In this video, I'm going to break down with you the pros and cons of both platforms and why I think maybe you should choose one or the other. And you can also decide based on this information. Hi, I'm Laurie. I've been a digital marketing and social media consultant for over a decade. Now, the last 10 years or so, I've seen pretty much the social media landscape completely change. And on this channel, I'll be sharing with you the social media tips and tricks to help you level up your brand, and also behind the scenes business growth hacks and tips that I can share from my own personal experience of running a digital training and consulting company. So if that all sounds good, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. So let's get started with TikTok. So TikTok is actually a much newer app than Instagram. And during the pandemic period, we've seen TikTok completely steamed ahead with regards to its user base growth, purely because people are spending a lot more time online and also spending a lot more time on their phones. And TikTok's algorithm also features a content graph, which means that let's say you only have 20 followers on this platform. If one of your videos do really well, let's say getting lots of engagement and getting viewed loads of times, then easily it can be pushed to a lot more people on the platform and ultimately getting a viral video, as you call it, so-called viral. And what that means is that essentially, TikTok is showing your videos to a much larger user base despite you only having 20 followers. And that means that a lot of times your content can go viral very quickly on this platform if used in the right way. But going viral isn't always a good thing, and that's a story for another day. Now, TikTok's video are fairly low in production value, and that means that anyone with a smartphone can really just use the app, the native app of TikTok, to create videos within minutes to half an hour, depending on how much you want to polish it or edit it, etc. However, that also means that the competition is a lot higher with regards to showing your videos on the platform. And therefore, you should be looking into things like trending sounds, how are you able to use the right tags on your videos to make sure you're actually reaching the right audiences there. But overall, there's actually a very extensive list of tools that you can use within TikTok to make your video even more engaging than it can be. So let's now look at the users on TikTok. So the users on this platform are much more younger in demographic, mainly in the 24 years or younger age group, in the Gen Z group. However, there are those amazing creators like Mark Tilbury who are in his 50s and absolutely killing it on this platform as a creator. Having said that, there are lots of elderly millennials on this platform like myself who are not ashamed to admit that we actually like TikTok videos as well. And according to a study by TikTok themselves, they've actually indicated that over 25% of users on this platform who are in the Gen Z group have expressed an interest to either research or buy a product after they've seen a TikTok ad or a TikTok video. So that definitely means that for businesses who are looking to increase brand awareness and also drive revenue within that generation, it makes sense to spend some time to create a profile and also content on this platform. So let's now take a look over at Instagram. So Instagram actually has a lot more robust features and capabilities and also content formats than TikTok. So for example, you can share things like Instagram in-feed posts, which include carousels, photos, videos. You can also be sharing Instagram Reels, which are essentially very similar to TikTok, the vertical videos that you're seeing when you're scrolling down the Instagram Reels feed. You can also be sharing Instagram Live, right, where you're actually live with your audiences on your phone to talk to them about a specific topic or special event that you're sharing. Or you could be on Instagram Stories, which is kind of behind the scenes, disappear within 24 hours type of content that doesn't be super curated or super perfect, but rather showing exactly what you're up to behind the scenes. And all these are fantastic combinations to give your audience really a 360-degree view of who you are as a brand and what do you do. In terms of overall audiences, Instagram also have a much bigger audience base than TikTok. So currently has 2 billion active monthly users, and TikTok only currently has 1 billion. So that means that you definitely have a lot more reach on this platform overall. Now, in terms of demographic, Instagram also skews towards a little bit on the older side of the generation Z, so basically towards the 24 or slightly older age group, and also some of the millennials and elderly millennials like myself who are also using this platform too. So if you're looking to target a slightly older generation than, let's say, the Gen Z group, Instagram is definitely a much better place to be. I think personally, Instagram also offers a lot more creative freedom when it comes to content format that you can use. So on this platform, like I mentioned earlier, where you can use a combination of Instagram stories for behind the scenes, for driving some potential interest in what you do, and also having that intimate connection with you as a brand. You can also be doing Instagram feed posts, which essentially are the permanent posts that you currently have on your Instagram profile, where you can then actually see the different content that you're sharing on a regular basis. Or you could be doing Instagram Reels, which actually has a really huge potential to reach a much larger audience because Instagram is actively pushing Reels at the moment and possibly into the future, because vertical videos is so enticing and also attractive to audiences on any social media platform at the moment. And then also lastly, you can also be doing other things like Instagram Lives for that one-to-one connection with your fans, where it really kind of has a much more in-depth personal feel. Now, some of these features are on TikTok as well, but Instagram have definitely developed a much more wider suite of features that you can actually use as a brand or business. And what's interesting is that according to Instagram, over 50% of users have actually expressed an interest or researching into a product after they've seen an ad on this platform. So again, really great recall with regards to what they've seen on the platform and how it actually influenced them as a user as well. So being from a business perspective, I think that's really valuable in terms of spending time here, especially creating paid ads that might be getting you a lot more higher return for your investment over time. And on top of that, if let's say you currently have an online store, Instagram offers a shoppable feed that people can actually click on your post to shop for that item, or alternatively, even in-app checkout processes to make the whole entire buying process a lot more easier and seamless, really, to make sure that you have a much more higher conversion rate over time on your product sales. And lastly, the analytics is amazing. It allows you to see so much in-depth analytics and data behind your content and how it's actually performed with your audiences over time. So now that we talked about both platforms, which one is right for you? So unfortunately, there isn't a straight answer to this, because let's say currently you have a much more younger demographic you want to target as your target audience, and also you have a lot of video content that you can share, then TikTok could be potentially a good platform for you, especially because there's a much higher chance of going viral on this platform and reaching a much more wider audience quickly. However, at the same time, that also means that you have to make sure you're targeting the right audiences, because one thing I want to talk about here is that going viral, it doesn't mean that you will actually benefit from that in the long term if, let's say, you've gone viral to the wrong type of audiences, because then you're accumulating a much bigger audience within the target audience that isn't right for you. And ultimately, when you're sharing content relating to your brand, to your business, to your services, you're not really going to get that kind of engagement you're looking for, because you have built a whole entirely different audience just because one of your videos have potentially gone viral, but maybe not in the right way. So TikTok is also a lot less in terms of production value, a lot less curated compared to Instagram. That also means that potentially you can be doing a lot more fun and creative things on here, testing it out, without really worrying about the content not performing as well, for example, because you can quickly move on to the next piece. And what I found is that when I tested the same content by sharing on both TikTok and Instagram, TikTok have actually given me a lot more impressions and reach compared to my same audiences over on Instagram, where I actually have a lot bigger audience and bigger reach there compared to TikTok. So interesting enough is saying that here, your content has a much better chance of getting seen on TikTok going forward, especially Gen Z is the audience you're looking to reach. Now, over on Instagram, I find that Instagram is much more relevant for the audience that I'm looking to target. However, TikTok is something I'm keeping an eye on very closely. And Instagram has a lot more robust features, like I mentioned earlier, that really allows you to use some of these features in different ways to really engage your audience, depending on where they want to spend their time. Some people might only want to spend time on Instagram stories, and some people might like to only spend time scrolling through the feed, or some people only want to watch Instagram Reels. So whichever it is, you can find out about your audiences and then use that content format to really engage with them. Now, the really good thing with Instagram is that they're actually linked with the Facebook paid ad platform. And that means is that when you actually run ads on Instagram, which I think is still a very much really great return on investment value, you can actually link that up with your Facebook ad platform and having that in-depth capability to really target as detailed as possible in the demographic you're looking to reach, and really allowing you to have a lot more creativity and also potential reach with regards to your Instagram ads as you're paying with your valuable marketing dollars to reach the audiences you're looking to find. Now, after we compared all of this, I just want you to have a think about in terms of what is it that's right for your brand right now. So first of all, who is your target audience? Which is pretty much really important in anything that we do in marketing. So really know that very well. And secondly, are you looking to do only video, let's say, which is what TikTok currently offers? Or are you looking to do a variety of other content formats too, that perhaps give you a little bit more creativity freedom? So all these different factors really play into why you're deciding for TikTok versus Instagram. And never really decide based on the fact that your competitors might be doing dance videos on TikTok. It doesn't mean that you have to do the same. It's all about what makes sense for you and your brand over time. So I hope you found that video helpful, and in this video I really put in some of the key features that you can consider between TikTok and also Instagram. And let me know which one you'll be choosing. Is it TikTok or is it Instagram in the comments below, or maybe it's both. I look forward to hearing from you. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like and also share with a friend who might also need to watch this. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and see you next time.